Good morning. Today is chest day. A little sore from yesterday's leg day, especially in the quads. Last night, towards the end of the night before going to bed, my left knee was definitely hurting. Definitely some dull, constant pain, but slept it off. It's feeling better now. But for today's chest day, had my same exact breakfast of the egg whites, cheese, and a tortilla. Weighed in today at, I believe it was 182.4, so about 0.9 pounds yesterday, or 0.9 pounds less than yesterday, even though I almost exactly hit my calorie goal and my carb goal. So, a little unknown as to what caused that. Maybe it's just I think it might be the calorie counter I use, and I just use like the boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and it counts that as whatever protein and calories it uses. But maybe the boneless, skinless chicken thighs are a bit different size. I didn't weigh it because I still had the bone in there. But, yeah, had 3 of those last night, along with some of the cilantro lime rice and some vegetables. But for today's chest day, after warming up my shoulders, tricep, and chest, I would like, especially towards the start of the bulk, I want to focus on my flying strength. I noticed that I normally hold off all of my flies movements towards the end of my chest days. I think incorporating some pec flies towards the beginning or towards the middle, hopefully I can get my pressing strength or my flying strength up. But I experimented a little bit with it last chest day. Started with, I think, 3 sets of pec fly. But I did notice maybe on that 3rd set, I didn't tweak my shoulder, but I definitely, maybe I could have stopped at 2 flying sets and then moved on to my pressing. So I think that's what I'll do today. I'll warm up the flies, do 2 working sets of a medium weight, around 10 reps, and then move on to my pressing. For chest, I do love hitting chest, so I think I average around 8 to 9 sets of chest per workout. Probably around 6 sets of pressing and 3 sets of flying. And then after my chest days, I hit 3 sets of lateral raises, just with dumbbells, because that's my favorite side delt movement. And then it'll be cardio like always. Yeah, day 2 of recording videos like these, putting myself out of my comfort zone, trying new things. Yeah. One of the things with like the weight goal and whatnot, I know it's like, oh, just because you hit a certain weight goal, it doesn't mean anything, because what's the difference between 179.9 and 180.1? Right? Nothing. It's just a 0. But with the fluctuations in like carb intake or calorie intake on the daily, I want to average 180 for at least a week and then slowly come back up from it. So if yesterday I weighed 183.3 and today I weighed 182.4, as long as I stay on track, I should be averaging 180 pretty soon. I was able to have a serving and a half of M&Ms as my sweet little treat. So that was always nice. I had one serving. I looked and I saw there was only a half serving left in the bag. So thankfully I had it in the calories I had left for the night. So I was able to finish the bag. That was a nice sweet treat for last night. But yeah, for training chest specifically, after my chest strength has always been it's always been weaker than my squat strength, like as a ratio. So yeah, my max bench press right now is 117.5 kg back in the summertime. But I do notice if I'm not competition bench pressing significantly or often, I do lose that strength pretty quickly. And I'm not focusing on competition bench press right now. I'm mainly focusing on dumbbell stuff, or if I am doing competition bench, I'm trying to push myself for the higher rep ranges. And by higher rep ranges, I mean sets of 4 or 5. Yeah, especially for the incline work. If I go too much of an incline, my shoulders don't feel like they have my chest and my shoulders don't feel like they have the full range of motion. And it's like I can do a 30 or 37.5 degree incline and sink all the way down and touch my chest with the bar if I'm doing barbell incline. But if I'm doing dumbbell incline, I like to just do the first notch where it's 15% incline. And yes, with me arching my back and doing powerlifter form like that, maybe my chest is a little bit more flat than it should be, and maybe I should be pushing myself to do 30 degree incline on either dumbbell or Smith machine, or sometimes doing incline barbell. But doing that 15 degree incline is definitely my favorite. So I'm going to keep doing that. Sometimes I'll start with, say, a 30 degree incline for 2 sets, and then I'll move down to the 15 degree incline for the last 2 or 3 sets, just so I can have the upper pec focus in the first half, and then as I'm getting more fatigued, lower the incline, use more of the entire chest, and and then move on to flies. For pec flies specifically, some of the machines that have an upright form, it hurts my shoulders just because leaning so up and down gives my shoulders more opportunity to be in front of my chest, even if I am arching my back and keeping my shoulders back. But the main gym I go to does have a little bit of a decline seat with the pec fly, so that's my favorite. It helps keep my front delts out of the equation. And recently, with how well and consistently I've been doing my warm-ups, I haven't had much shoulder pain, thank God. So as long as I warm up, make sure I'm warmed up, and keep it moderate on my opening 2 sets of pec fly, I should be good. It should be smooth sailing. And yeah, I'm ready to get to it. Almost at the gym. So I'll catch you guys inside for the pose down after. Alright, so this is the post chest day pump. Looking pretty fucking juicy. Let's go with the poses.
stringer off. But pretty good today. I did opened with the warm-up, then 2 sets of pec fly. Then I was gonna go do incline dumbbell bench, but all the incline dumbbells, or all of the incline benches were being used, so I did 3 sets of incline barbell bench. That was pretty good. Set at 8 and then 7 and 6. Then I moved on to the hammer strength chest press. Did 3 sets there. Then moved on to 2 last finishing sets of pec deck. And then I did 4 sets of lateral raises. So let's go for the shirtless round of the pose now. A lot lightheaded there. The side chest is definitely my favorite pose. And now that I'm getting lean enough to see the striations in my chest on this side, as long as some upper pec development over there. Feeling pretty good about that. Now it is time for 30 minutes of cardio. I don't know if I'll probably do the bike today. And if my quads start to feel really sore after 15 minutes on the tread or on the bike, then I'll switch over to the treadmill, but I'll see you in the car. That was an excellent chest day. 2 excellent gym days in a row. I don't know what this guy's doing ahead of me. I think, okay. He's trying to go in here. Yeah, not to sound like a broken record, but 2 excellent gym days in a row. Pretty good streak. 30 minutes of cardio on the bike done. The Wi-Fi in the gym has been terrible lately, so reading a book on the Kindle is a nice break from 1, getting frustrated with the gym's bad Wi-Fi, and 2, doom scrolling. That's one of the things I'm trying to work on, is definitely decreasing the doom scrolling, which I think I do a pretty good job of in the beginning and end of my days, but sometimes in the middle. That's when Instagram will really get me. Deleting TikTok was huge, but then Instagram Reels kind of took its place, for better or for worse. But yeah, I do a pretty good job of staying away from the doom scrolling. But boredom is that's the worst. When not even doom scrolling cures the boredom, that's when I should just take a nap. But yeah,
So I mentioned it when I was doing the pose down, but I did a little mix of the pec deck as the first movement, and then pressing movements, and then finishing with pec deck, which felt pretty good. Felt pretty good. I think I must have some sort of imbalance between my left pec and my right pec, which I'm not surprised about. Where maybe I move my left arm a little bit differently when I'm doing the pec deck, which causes my left pec to work differently than my right, or my left shoulder to work differently than my right. But overall, pretty good day. Yeah, I would say if I really wanted to pick one chest movement to focus on pressing wise, I would really like to improve my incline barbell bench. I would really have to focus on it and have that be my primary pressing movement. But the incline barbell benches always seem to be too high of an angle for me than what's comfortable, which leads me to default back to a slight incline dumbbell press, or once in a blue moon doing slight incline Smith press. But overall, I'm happy with my chest development and the reveal of my muscle tissue throughout this cut. Looking back, the last time I was this leaner at the end of my last cut was May of last year, and I was just about the same weight. I think I dipped right around 180 or slightly below 180 last May, and my chest was pretty lean there on like my side chest pose, like my last side chest pose of that cut. So I'm definitely happy with the pump and the definition that I'm able to see this time as well. But yeah, I was in a slight deficit all the way from, oh no, I think I got my months mixed up. The end of my cut last time was, oh no. The end of my bulk was last January. And then the cut, I forget. I'd have to look back. I'm just confusing myself now. But yeah, I'm gonna go home now, do the same exact thing I did yesterday. Protein yogurts, chocolate chip bread rolls is the post-workout meal, and then chicken thighs and rice, or chicken thighs and pasta, depending on how I'm feeling, as the dinner. And then I'll have to pick up a new sweet treat when I go grocery shopping tomorrow, because I finished those M&Ms and Kit Kats I was talking about. But I'll maybe pick up a smaller package of chicken breasts, just so I have a quicker rotation, because that's why I mentioned it yesterday how I get sick of the chicken breasts pretty quickly, but that's because I always buy the bulk package, and then I have to eat 4 servings of chicken in a row, or chicken breasts in a row. So maybe I'll just buy a smaller package, have 3 meals, move on to the next protein. It's been a while since I've made salmon. Salmon's pretty high in fat relatively, so maybe I'll hold off on that for a few more weeks, and maybe at the beginning of the bulk I'll introduce that a little bit more. My main staple for a while now, especially on my bulks, has been ground beef pasta and tomato sauce, and that's one of the simplest meals I'll ever make. It's one of my favorites too. I could eat it twice a day for an entire week before I have to move on. And packages of ground beef at the grocery store are 750 grams, so I get about 3 meals or 3 servings out of that package. So, yeah. Tomorrow will be arms with a little bit of shoulders. Recently, I've come back to what I used to do when I started seriously coming to the gym as an adult, with a little bit of a twist. So I'll do 2 or 3 sets of biceps, 2 to 3 sets of triceps, 2 to 3 sets of biceps, 2 to 3 sets of triceps, and then I'll move on to shoulders at the end. Where for the past 4 years, probably 3 years, I really haven't done much shoulder pressing. However, I did see Jeff Nippard's video earlier this year, maybe November, December, when he unveiled his whole brand new gym, and he did the science experiment with one of his friends, and it showed that the upright pressing, shoulder pressing, actually fired in the lateral head of the delt significantly more than what I originally thought. So I've been doing easy bar shoulder press on the incline bench. Put that, I think it's like 67.5 degree incline. I'll just use like 25 kilos, 30 kilos, or around like 60 pounds. And I'll bust out 2 to 3 sets of that. And that has been feeling excellent. And then I'll do my 3 to 4 sets of dumbbell lateral raises. Dumbbell lateral raises have always been my favorite. Sometimes they fatigue my back a little bit, like when I'm seated or when I'm in that kind of not hunched over position, but that angled position for a little too long. But if I brace my back well enough, it doesn't flare up. The reason it flares up like that is a few years ago, I think it was the winter of 22, I was skiing. It was one of the best days of skiing I've ever had, and accidentally went a little off the trail into a 6-foot drop onto gullies. Next thing I know, my knees are hitting my chest, and the next thing after that, I wake up with my skis off, placed next to me, and a bloody nose. So I don't know what happened, how my skis got placed next to me so neatly, but unbeknownst to me at the time, because after I recovered, I had to ski down the rest of the trail to my car, and I didn't go to the hospital for a week, just because I thought I could ibuprofen it off. But when I eventually did go, come to find out I had a compound fracture in my T12 vertebrae. So that was fantastic to hear at 21 or 20, however old I was. But yeah, I've been living with that ever since. A week after my injury, I was right back in the gym, squatting 330 pounds. So really, it really only bothers me when my bracing is off, and or when I'm in that slight leaning position for an extended period of time, i.e. dumbbell lateral raises sometimes if I'm not on point with my form or doing the dishes. But it's always there. I've grown to accept that the pain will never go away, and I just have to work with it and manage it the best I can. Obviously, I've been able to lift through it. I've been able to live through it. So it's just along for the ride. It's one of the many injuries, well, hopefully not many injuries I'll ever live with, but probably the injury I'll live with forever. But that was the day I learned I wasn't invincible. But it's all right, because we move on, and I'm still able to hit the gym, and I'll still grow. So that's all for me today. I'm almost back at the house, and I'll see you guys later.